Hello and welcome back to the Fishroom. Now today we're sitting in front of my 55-gallon Planet Aquarium. This houses my Kalitawa rainbowfish, fire ant tetras, and we have recently added a Siamese algae eater and a Florida flagfish to try and deal with this algae. As you know, I share every bit of my hobby, not just the good stuff, but the bad stuff as well, the tough to deal with. This tank in particular is infested with algae. Even though I set them all up the same, just because you set up an aquarium the same as you did your last one doesn't mean you're not going to have some unforeseen trouble with it. This one, for some reason out of nowhere, developed this hair algae, the really coarse, really stuck on type. If you've watched any of my other videos, I've spoke about this. Now, all of these plants I've taken from other aquariums. I do not have this type of algae in any other aquarium, so I'm not sure where it came from. Maybe in with the fish. That's the only thing I could think of. But it has completely taken over this aquarium. Now I've added the Siamese algae eater and the Florida flagfish to try and deal with it and help me out with it, on top of doing umpteen water changes, just to kind of get some of the nutrients out of the water, because this is a fairly new setup. For those of you who don't know, this is a dirted aquarium, so there's topsoil capped with sand, and for the lights I have 2 LED floodlights. I think you can get a pair of them for about 30 bucks on Amazon. Now I have this same setup in a 40-gallon. I have a 40-gallon Iwagumi tank. Dwarf Sage came out of the same spot. The Super Red Rotala in that tank came out of the same spot. Do not have this algae. Also ordered the fish from the same online store. So even though you can do things exactly the same, you can end up with different results. But we will deal with this. I'm not giving up on this setup. I think it looks great other than the algae, and we will get it handled. We're also going to talk about my 75-gallon tank that has my Kamako rainbows in it. It is also having a problem, but not the same problem. These Kalitawa rainbows are just getting to the point where they're starting to show some color already. Can't wait till they're showing their full color. But anyway, yesterday I did some manual removal of this algae, and also did a water change. We're going to do another water change, and we're going to add a bristlenose pleco to this tank and to the 75 to see if, hey, maybe that makes a difference. Now, as far as I can tell, those are both females, and I did want to add them into some other tanks with some other males to try and see if I can get some breeding action going on, but this is a little more important. I can get some more bristlenose in the future. Let's try to get these tanks looked good. Hopefully they eat this stuff. That is the difference between this tank and the Iwagumi, is I do have a bristlenose in there, and I put it in there early on. Also in the 55 above it, though the lighting is a bit different, the substrate and plants, some of the plants anyway, are the same. So I also put a bristlenose in there early on, which is where I wanted to add a female, was to those two tanks, because those are both males. But you know, we'll have to deal with that in the future. But for now, we'll have a closer look at this so you can see the real problem that's going on here. Because from what I could see in this far away shot, you can't really see the whole problem here. And then we'll go have a look at the 75 and I'll explain that to you. So as you can see, this hair algae is bad in here. And this is after removing a ton of it yesterday. This hair algae is so stubborn and so stuck. Now eventually, when this tank is more matured and the plants have filled in even better than they have, because even with this problem going on, the dwarf sage is still spreading. The super red rotala is growing like crazy. It's all the way to the surface of the water. If we could just get a hold of this hair algae, this tank would look excellent. So we're going to add the bristlenose. We'll give her some time, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Let's go check out the 75. So this is the 75-gallon Kamaka Rainbow aquarium. Also in here are red-tailed penguin tetras, and I have black emperor tetras. I have also put a Siamese algae eater in here. Now, the problem in here is similar, but there are also some other deciding factors going on. So in here we had cyanobacteria that had taken hold in several parts of the tank, and I kind of just let it go, see if I could water change and add some things and see maybe some time if it would correct itself. But today, actually just before I decided to make this video, I decided to do some manual removal. And what this has done to the aquarium is quite evident. And we'll have a closer look to see that. So as you can see, I couldn't get 100% of it, but I did get a good majority. And there was a great deal right here. And as you can see, it has killed off and smothered the plants in this area. Now a lot of it's been removed, and from now on I'm going to try, after I add this bristlenose, to keep up on it, because waiting it out obviously wasn't the right move. And if we move across, everywhere that you could see it, it's this dark green, you see bare spots. So it is smothering out and feeding off these plants. So as you can see, there was a good deal right here that I cleared out. Now these plants are dying or their leaves are dead. They'll spring back. It's not a big loss. They'll spring back pretty quick. But then also right here was very thick. So we cleared a lot of that out. Hopefully, focus. Hopefully that will help. As you can see, there's still some on there, and that is smothering out those plants. Still some on that side wall too. Now when I told you there was other factors, I was talking about these lights are the same as the 55 and the 40-gallon Iwagumi, except the 40-gallon Iwagumi has one and the 55 and the 75 have two. Now that's a factor. Also, I do not yet have a timer for the 75, which I need to get right directly, because it's depending on me getting down here at a certain time to turn it on so it has any kind of regularity to the light schedule, which there isn't, because sometimes I just don't make it down here. So that is a problem, and I will be addressing that right directly here. We're going to get these lights on a timer so they're not depending on me, because plants grow a lot better when they have a regular light schedule. So we've cleaned out a good majority of this, and we're going to add in a bristlenose pleco. Now we'll see if that makes a difference. Now, as in doing any experiment, it's not a good idea to change multiple things at the same time to attempt to correct a problem, because then you don't know what it was that fixed it. But we're going to add this bristlenose in, and in a few days time here we are going to get a timer for these lights. So it will be hard to say what fixed it. But I doubt this cladophora was a result of the light timer. I think it was just something that was going to happen. I think if we had it on a regular schedule, it would have been the same or worse, given that some days the light wasn't even on. That's my opinion. If you have a different one or any suggestions, comments, I honestly don't want to add any kind of chemical or anything to try and correct this. I would like to do it naturally with either time or adding a fish or getting some of these nutrients out of the water by doing more water changes, which I've been doing a lot on these. If I haven't mentioned already, these are both fairly new setups, which with any new setup, especially a dirted aquarium, there's lots of extra nutrients in the water column, and once they get established, that tends to go away quite a bit, and the problems with it. So anyway, let's do a water change on the 55, and then we'll add the bristlenose to both. Now, before we do that, I just want to say we have recently hit 400 subscribers. That is awesome. I never thought I would get 400 people to watch my content, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And here's to 400 more, 4,000 more. You know, maybe one day we can get to the point where I can just do this stuff all the time. That would be great. I would love that. But I appreciate all your support. I hope you enjoy these videos. If you could, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. These things really help out the channel. Share if you can. And just once again, thank you. Thank you all. If you have any comments, any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. I try to answer each and every one. Don't always have the time, but I do my best. Again, thank you. Let's get into this water change. So that's the water change done on the 55. A little bit clearer, a little bit better place to start. So let's go catch the bristle nose out of the 10 gallon up here in the beta tank, and we'll put her in. Now for the fish room, I really don't use heaters in here. In fact, I don't have heaters in anything. So a plop and drop from one tank to the next will be just fine. So let's do it. So the two bristle nose are up here in the beta tank. Lighting is not the best because of this Rotella, super red Rotella island that we got going on here. But there's one, and there is the other. And there is our betta. Focus. Well, hopefully we'll get him a better shot of him another time. Well, anyway, that's those two added. Of course, I added it in and immediately they both hid in their respective tanks. That was quite a mission, getting them out of the old Rotella Island 10-gallon aquarium up there. But they will do great. Eventually they will come out, hopefully do some munching. Try to help clean a bit of this up, grow a little bit in the process, and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you can, hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit me with some comments, tell me what you think. All these things really help out the channel. It's helped this channel grow, hopefully to become something awesome. I'm constantly adding tanks. I have a lot more videos if you're a first time viewer. So check those out. Till next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.